Hi, I'm John. This is my show, An American Scheme, where I am proving that Diana Ross is Michael Jackson's actual mother. So I'm just going to try and make a quick little video here real quick. I wanted to show you this picture before I jump into the next thing what I'm going to talk about. This is a high school photo of Smokey Robinson, you know, and he's voted most popular. So it's one of the things about when you understand the relationship of Diana Ross spending time in Smokey Robinson's house, because she's best friends with Smokey Robinson's niece, who lives in Smokey Robinson's house. And Diana Ross is on the block, and then Smokey Robinson, his house was like a clubhouse. I've heard him say that one time he went over to a friend's house looking for his friend, and his friend's mother says, "Oh, he's at your house," because that's the way Smokey referred to his house, that his house was like a local hangout for a lot of the local kids and stuff, right? And so, and you can imagine him being in a band, having a band, and they would play down in the basement. So they had their house, but they had a basement space, and I guess that would have been his place where the kids would all hang out down in the basement. They'd play music. I could totally picture that scene and stuff, right? And so one of the people that's there hanging out all the time is Diana Ross. And if you're in that environment, and if you're like a 17-year-old Smokey Robinson, and there's a 13-year-old Diana Ross, man, if the girl wants to fuck, they're fucking. And it's like, it's one of these things, it's like, when I talk to these people, it's like, okay, did you people not experience high school? Do you guys not understand, like, the little girls running around and wanting to fuck these guys and shit? It's like, fuck, I had girls coming at me all the fucking time and shit. It was fucking crazy and shit. That's just the way it is. So it's crazy that when I just say, look don't you understand? Diana Ross was actually sleeping in Smokey's house, and she's proclaiming that he was her first love, that she really loved him. That you guys can't transition that maybe they had sex. And if they had sex, maybe they got fucking pregnant. Maybe, it's back then, it's not like, I doubt that they were selling condoms in every fucking liquor store, gas station and shit, right? It's just like, it's not like they're getting sex ed training in school, teaching them how to use condoms and shit. I mean, so, dude, and when you're young, when you have sex, like when you're a man, I mean, I hate to be graphic and shit, but you put your cock in a pussy and your fucking cock just explodes. Boom! And you don't know what to do. You don't know, like, what do I do? Am I supposed to? Because you're like, you don't want to pull out because you're having sex. Because this is like how it goes. It's like, you don't want to pull out because you're having sex. You think you're doing something wrong. You're supposed to be having sex. You're supposed to keep. So you don't want to pull out. So you come in her and shit. You don't know what to do. That's why you get so much young pregnancy. Because you put your cock in the pussy, boom, it explodes, and then you're like, well, shit, this happened. That was quick. And you're like, you don't want to pull out. You don't know that you should pull out. Or you don't know what to do. So you come in her, and then she gets pregnant. It's like such a common, simple story and shit, right? You don't think that the young Diana Ross, who tells you she was in love with Smokey Robinson, the guy in the band, he's a good-looking fucking guy. And he sings, beautiful singer and shit, right? He's got a band. He's hip and he's cool. You don't think Diana Ross would have wanted to fuck this dude? Of course she did. And she did. She wanted to and she did. She fucked him. She got pregnant, right? But so, let me show you, this is the story I want to talk about though right now. Is that there was a thing that happened, see, this is Prince, there was a thing that happened with, it says, Supreme Court rules against Andy Warhol in copyright dispute over Prince portrait. Okay, so, because of this I learned something about the technicality of copyrighted material and how you can use it and stuff, right? And so what this is Andy Warhol is a famous artist, and he would take like images like this of Prince. He would take these images, right? And then he would like colorize them a little bit, right? And then because of that allowed Andy Warhol to then print, like he could make poster like Prince, he could make prints and sell them. And he wouldn't have to pay Prince copyright royalties for his photo that has a copyright on his image, that has copyright laws protecting that material. But if it's transformative, that's the word of what happens here. I'm going to read this to you and stuff, right? So this is some of the Andy Warhol stuff of what he was doing with Prince. And then what this says here, I'll read to you what this says here. This says, The Supreme Court ruled Thursday, this is about a month ago, something like that, right? So he says, the Supreme Court ruled Thursday that the late Andy Warhol infringed on photographer's copyright when he created a series of silk screens based on a photograph of the late singer Prince. The ruling was 7-2, with Justice Elena Kagan penning a stinging dissent and arguing that the opinion will stifle creativity of every sort. The court rejected arguments made by a lawyer of Andy Warhol Foundation, the artist died in 1987, that his work was sufficiently transformative so as not to trigger copyright concerns. So this is what I've learned about copyright. What the word right there is sufficiently transformative. Okay, so what it means that is if you transform the original copyrighted material, you can use that, but it has to be transformative. You have to transform it into something else, right? Sufficiently, right? It's sufficiently transformative. And what they said is that this does not represent sufficient, that's still just the picture. That's what they're saying. They're like, no, that's still just the picture. Just because you put some different colors and stuff, that's still the picture of Prince. It's not sufficiently transformative. Okay, so the reason I'm bringing this up is because everybody in the world thinks they know what the song Billie Jean is about, right? Everybody thinks they know what it is, right? So my explanation of the song Billie Jean has sufficiently transformed the understanding of what the song actually is. So now, I think I do. I think I own the song Billie Jean. I think the song is, it's a tricky thing because here's like the way I look at it too. It's like, well, okay, Michael wrote the song and I'm explaining his true explanation of what the song is, okay? But Michael Jackson never came out and explained to the public of what the song was actually about, and he actually misled the public to let them believe that it was just about a Billie Jean groupie thing, right? And that it was accusing Michael of being the father of her child. Everybody thinks that that's what the song is about, and Michael allowed the people to think that that's what the song was about. So everybody in the world thinks that that's what the song is about. But I say no. I have sufficiently transformed the understanding of the song, and the true understanding of the song is that Diana Ross is Billie Jean, and the song is about Diana Ross informing Michael Jackson that he was her child. So my explanation of the song is sufficiently transformative of the understanding of Michael Jackson's song. So it's one of these things that now when we get into the actual legality, I know what I've done. I know that I know that my explanation of the song is a new explanation of the song, and I own that, right? But what I don't know how far it goes into being like, well, do I actually like own the song now? It's like, is because the other version of it is dead. So even though the Jacksons own the copyrights and stuff, that Jackson estate and stuff, they own the copyrights to like Billie Jean. But if I've just destroyed that version, then no one's ever going to tell that version anymore. So the only version that will ever be told after my story breaks and everybody is accepting of what I've done, the only version that will ever be told about the song Billie Jean will be my explanation of how I've sufficiently transformed it into something else, and that something else is now copyrighted material that was created by me. So I own Billie Jean now because the old version is dead, and my new version is the only thing that's going to matter, and I'm the one that owns the copyright, the creation process of the discovery of that. So I think that I own Billie Jean. And so all the songs that I've done, like with Beat It, and Want to Be Starting Something, and Dirty Diana, and Leave Me Alone, and Childhood, and frickin' Stranger in Moscow, like all these songs that I've done, I actually think that now, and I think legally I own all those songs and shit, right? So just wanted to put that out there and stuff to let you people know. It's like, you dumb Michael Jackson fans, you people are really dumb. You don't understand anything. And I'm talking about like serious, like Supreme Court rulings of who owns what. And you people don't think that my work is valid, and you don't understand the reality of what I've actually done. I've actually taken ownership over Michael Jackson's songs, because the old versions now are dead. The old interpretations of those songs are dead. There's only thing that matters now is the new interpretations of the songs, which is coming through me and through my explaining that Michael Jackson was abandoned as a child by his real parents, Diana Ross and Smokey Robinson. That's the only thing that matters. And I'm the one that created this story, so I own all the copyrighted material and ownerships over all of this work and stuff, right? So pretty much I think that I own Michael Jackson's work now and stuff, right? So, okay, you guys have a good day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.